He was Hong Kong's most outrageous cop, until a joke got him demoted to traffic duty. But when terrorists plot to blow up a school full of ambassadors' kids, Chow Sing-Sing goes rogue. Disguised as a student, dating a teenager by accident and dodging his furious fiancée, he turns the classroom into a war zone and the mission into a comedy of chaos. Bullet catching, grenade throwing, and underwear-waving heroics. This might be the craziest school rescue ever. Buckle up, Chow's back and class is in session. The story begins with Chow Sing-Sing, an officer in the Royal Hong Kong Police's Elite Special Duties Unit, SDU. He is supervising a training session where young trainees storm a building in a mock hostage rescue. As they burst into the room, they shoot at terrorist dummies but accidentally hit a civilian dummy behind Chow, mistaking him for a hostage. Chow, who is calmly eating noodles, becomes furious at their recklessness and scolds them harshly. After finishing his lecture, he announces that this will be the last time they see him, as he is expecting a promotion. As he walks away, the trainees laugh in relief, happy to be rid of him, but Chow unexpectedly returns and catches them. Instead of punishing them, he joins in their cheer, expresses his own joy about the promotion, and runs off happily. The next day, Chow and his friend Tat wait to meet the police superintendent, Inspector Lydia. Tat is visibly upset and tells Chow that his pen pal girlfriend stopped writing to him after he sent her a photo. To Chow's shock, Tat confesses that he actually sent her a photo of Chow instead of his own. Both are disappointed. Tat tries to console Chow, saying it's okay to be ugly. Nearby, a man disrespects his girlfriend in public while waiting to give a statement. Tat becomes furious and decides to personally question the man in a private room. After taking him inside, he asks Chow to place a phone book on the man's chest so he can hit him with a hammer. Chow only has a small phone book, but uses it anyway. As Tat swings the hammer, the man suddenly kicks him across the room, starting a fight. Tat tries to fight back but is clearly overpowered. He tags Chow in like it's a wrestling match, and Chow effortlessly beats the man. Wanting some glory, Tat tags back in but gets beaten again, forcing him to switch once more. In the middle of the fight, Inspector Lydia walks in and asks why they're beating up a civilian. Tat quickly tries to play it cool and says the man insulted a woman, which he couldn't tolerate. When the man realizes Tat and Chow are not on official duty, he complains to Lydia and even insults her by calling her fat and wrinkled. Lydia gets angry and hits him too, then takes Tat and Chow to her office. In her office, Lydia praises their recent contribution to a firearms case and asks them what positions they want in the department. Tat, still trying to act confident, asks for the most dangerous job and is assigned to the regional crime unit. Chow jokingly says he wants to join the traffic division, but his joke backfires and he's actually transferred there. Days later, Chow is miserable in his new role. While stopping a speeding car, he realizes it's his old friends. He lets them go with a warning, but when one of them mocks him for being a traffic officer, he charges them with reckless driving, attempted murder, and even a false assault charge. Later, while grilling sausages during traffic duty, Chow runs into Tat, who boasts about his exciting new mission. Chow blames Tat for getting close to Lydia just to get a better post. Tat leaves, but Chow follows him to a factory where the police are raiding a terrorist hideout. The terrorists find out there's an undercover cop among them and start shooting before escaping. The undercover cop is killed. However, officers from the special branch are also there, as they've been working on the same case. The next day, the Secretary of Security holds a meeting where Peter, head of the special branch, explains that the terrorists had previously bombed 2 schools in Britain and are now planning an attack in Hong Kong. Lydia complains that she wasn't informed about the undercover agent's presence in the factory. To avoid political fallout, the secretary decides to make Chow the scapegoat for the failure. Chow is furious but doesn't confront him. Later, Chow is visited by his girlfriend, Miss Ho, and her parents. Her mother insists they start wedding preparations. Chow tries to explain that he can't afford it. Miss Ho's mother is shocked because she believes police officers earn well. Chow awkwardly admits he spent millions on a fancy stereo system. To save face, Miss Ho lies and says they've saved $100,000 in a joint account. Although most of the money is hers, Chow goes along with the lie, and the family starts planning the wedding. That night, Tat comes to Chow with some mission files in English and asks for help. Chow reads the documents and finds out that the special branch and Tat's unit are working together on a secret mission. Chow believes the mission is important and that Tat isn't capable enough to handle it, so he asks Lydia to let him take over. But Lydia, who likes Tat, refuses. When the special branch team arrives, they openly disrespect Chow. Feeling humiliated, Chow quits the police force. Later on, Tat tries to help Chow find other jobs, suggesting he work as a security guard or even play a dog in a romance movie. Chow declines and instead decides to carry out his own private investigation. He wants to prove he's more than just a traffic cop. He gathers 3 helpers and pays them to join his team. Chow briefs them, explaining that the terrorists will attack a school unless the British government frees their leader by Christmas Eve. Chow believes the target is Adam Smith International School, where the recently killed undercover agent had been working, and where many ambassadors' children also study. After that, Chow goes undercover as a student along with his team and pays a high admission fee to Principal Kim. They're spotted by undercover special branch officers who question Chow, but he dismisses them by pretending to be a student. Then they run into Tat, who is already undercover as the school's discipline officer. Tat introduces himself as James Bond and demands respect, but Chow's friend Turtle mocks him by calling himself Batman. Tat hits Turtle in front of the officers to keep his cover. When he approaches Chow, they negotiate payment for a staged beating, but Tat accidentally hits Chow too hard and knocks him out. Once he recovers, Chow and his team split up to gather intelligence. Chow and Turtle ask a student named Sandy for classroom directions. She's reading a sad novel, and Chow advises her to switch to cheerful comics instead. Meanwhile, the others meet a well-connected student named Albert, who helps them gather information about different gangs in the school. In class, Sandy seems drawn to Chow and misses her name during attendance while staring at him. In a Christianity lesson, Chow gets into a debate with the teacher as he defends Judas, the one who betrayed Jesus. The teacher gets angry at him for this blasphemy and hits him, so Chow, following Turtle's advice, punches the teacher, Minister Wong, only to find out he's one of the most powerful people in the school. As punishment, Chow is made to carry a cross while Tat publicly beats him. Later, Chow gets revenge by beating Tat in the bathroom. While in the bathroom, they overhear special branch officers talking about keeping Chow away from Sandy, which makes Chow even more suspicious. Later, during a basketball game, Chow, distracted by Sandy, gets attacked by a special branch officer who throws a ball at him. Chow reacts instantly by punching the ball mid-air, impressing everyone. He proudly boasts to his friends that he can even catch bullets now. As they head back after school, Peter invites Chow for coffee. In Lydia's office, Peter warns him to stop investigating. Chow pretends he's just an innocent student. Lydia tries to mediate, but Peter reminds her she'll be held responsible if anything goes wrong. Meanwhile, the police receive a tip and raid a hideout, but the terrorists ambush and kill them. They continue their plan to attack the school, even knowing it's under surveillance. After this, it's revealed that Chow has sold his expensive stereo to fund his operation. One day, Miss Ho visits him for a haircut and brings up their wedding. She mentions looking at houses, but Chow deflects, saying he can't commit to a mortgage while undercover. When she mentions applying for civil allowance, he lies again, claiming he's now the commander of all undercover missions and can't receive that benefit either. Later on in a judo class, Chow pretends to be inexperienced, so the instructor pairs him up with Sandy. But instead of engaging in a proper fight, Chow starts dancing with her. As Sandy tries to hit him, he lifts her effortlessly and twirls her around before gently putting her down. The display deeply impresses Sandy. In the showers afterward, a special branch agent warns Chow to stay away from Sandy. Chow responds by fighting him. Their struggle turns strangely intimate, and the instructor walks in joking that if they were kissing, they should have invited him too. Later, Chow sees Sandy sitting with her sister Jackie, a feared and tough student at the school. Chow tells Turtle to distract Jackie so he can talk to Sandy alone. Turtle reluctantly kisses Jackie on the cheek and runs off, giving Chow the chance to pretend he accidentally bumped into Sandy and strike up a conversation. She tells him she likes him, and Chow replies that he already knew. Eventually, he brings up the mission and asks if she knows someone named Mike Chan. Sandy says she doesn't, but Jackie might. They find Jackie pinning Turtle down and kissing him. Chow asks her about Mike, and Jackie remembers him as Coward Chan, a student known for sleeping in class and skipping school. After that, Sandy insists she and Chow try something adult, clearly hinting at a kiss. Chow tries to avoid it, but when she presses, he gives her a quick kiss and pretends to be breathless, claiming he has asthma. Sandy teases him, and he says it was worth it for her. Later, Sandy asks Chow for a drink. Instead, he invites her to lunch. At the restaurant, Chow spots Jackie and his partners who have told her he is dating someone else, just to get a chance to date Sandy. Worried about a confrontation, Chow quickly tries to change the venue. But before he can act, he sees Miss Ho entering the same restaurant, adding to his panic. Desperate to avoid being seen, he pretends he needs to use the restroom. While looking for an escape, he notices special branch officers nearby and quickly puts on a mask to hide his identity. But in his confusion, he accidentally sits at Miss Ho's parents' table. As he tries to slip away, Sandy introduces him as her boyfriend. But Miss Ho doesn't recognize him due to the mask. Chow tries to leave with Sandy quietly, but Tat suddenly appears, recognizes him. Chow insists he's someone else, but Tat exposes him by removing the mask. Trying to cover for Chow, Tat tells everyone that his relationship with Sandy is only part of an undercover mission, and that Chow spent their wedding savings on this operation. Hearing this, Miss Ho becomes furious and calls off the wedding. Chow scolds Tat for making things worse. Tat tries to defend himself, saying he was only trying to help, but the special branch officers mock him too, saying they're relieved he's not part of their team. Tat later reflects on why everyone seems to hate him. Lydia tries to comfort him and puts the blame on Chow. The next day, Chow returns to class as usual. Sandy follows him and tries to speak to him, visibly upset. She eventually asks him whether he ever truly liked her. Chow coldly responds that everything was just part of a game. Heartbroken and humiliated, Sandy walks away in tears. Chow, deeply affected, takes his frustration out in class when students start misbehaving. He scolds the teacher for being too soft and tells him to act like a man. Just then, Tat enters and tells Chow that Principal Kim wants to see him. When they arrive at the principal's office, a woman suddenly bursts in, claiming to be Chow's mother. She creates a scene, saying she is withdrawing her son from school and that she has been working as a prostitute to support his education. Chow is embarrassed and denies knowing her, but she even produces a birth certificate as proof. As she goes through her bag, a gun falls out, shocking everyone. However, she insists it's just a toy gun she brought as a gift. Sensing an opportunity, Chow grabs the gun and begins pointing it around. Tat and the woman panic, afraid he might fire it at them. Principal Kim, still believing it is a toy, takes the gun and starts playing with it, surprised at how realistic it feels. When the bullets run out, the woman takes the gun back, and Tat urges Chow to quit the mission, saying he is making everything worse. Chow, feeling defeated, walks out of the room. As he's leaving, Albert hands him his phone number and shows him a hand-drawn map of the school, suggesting it might be useful for an escape plan. Chow gives the map to Tat, who later presents it to Peter from the special branch. When Peter asks where it came from, Tat honestly says it was from Chow. Peter expresses his doubts about trusting Chow. Despite some of the team defending Chow's intentions, Peter reveals that the Secretary of Security has officially pulled the Regional Crime Unit from the case, giving full control to the special branch. The next day, Christmas celebrations begin at the school. While the students prepare for the festivities, Sandy sneaks away from her friends and sits alone, crying. A special branch agent follows her to the basketball court to comfort her. Meanwhile, the terrorists launch their plan. They silently infiltrate the school, jamming communications and taking out special branch agents one by one. They then take the students hostage before any of them can escape. Turtle manages to secretly use a phone to warn Chow about the attack. Chow tries to inform the special branch, but they don't believe him. As the terrorists begin searching students for the hidden phone, panic spreads. The phone gets passed around among the students until someone throws it into Jackie's shirt to avoid detection. The terrorists, upon hearing that someone has escaped, decide to round up students and send some to the basement. Meanwhile, Sandy is still on the basketball court when the terrorists attack. The special branch agent with her bravely defends her, shooting one of the terrorists despite getting injured himself. As another terrorist starts firing at them, they are suddenly saved by a mysterious figure dressed like the Terminator. It turns out to be Tat, arriving just in time to protect them. On the other hand, Chow rushes to the SDU headquarters and pleads with the captain to launch a rescue operation. When the captain refuses, saying he hasn't received any official orders, Chow knocks him out and uses his access card to activate the communication system. Chow calls in all available units, telling them he will take full responsibility for the mission. Back at the school, Tat and the injured agent free the students being led to the basement. He takes them to a hidden bomb shelter and instructs them to escape through the tunnel. Just as the students begin to leave, more terrorists arrive. Tat engages them in a shootout, and when one of the terrorists follows the students into the tunnel, Tat throws a grenade. The explosion blocks the tunnel, preventing him from escaping with the others. Low on ammunition and surrounded, Tat waves his underwear as a sign of surrender. Elsewhere, Chow arrives at the school with the SDU forces. Turtle informs him that Tat is still trapped inside. The special forces throw smoke grenades and storm the building, rescuing the students and neutralizing the terrorists. However, Tat is still missing. The team searches the school and finds more terrorists hiding in the basement. Suddenly, they are ambushed by terrorists concealed beneath the floor rails. Following this, Chow orders his team to evacuate the wounded while he proceeds alone. He turns up the pressure valves to create hot steam, which flushes out the hidden terrorists. He shoots down another terrorist hiding in the corner. Eventually, he finds the terrorist leader holding Tat at gunpoint. The terrorist forces Chow to drop his weapons and turn around. Chow reluctantly does so. Just as the terrorist fires, Chow spins around, seemingly catching the bullet in his hand. The terrorist, stunned, watches as Chow slowly approaches him with a smile. But when Chow opens his hand, there is no bullet. The terrorist realizes he's been tricked and tries to fire again, but Chow kicks the pistol out of his hand. As the terrorist attempts to catch the falling gun, Chow grabs his rifle and shoots him. Later, Tat asks if Chow really caught the bullet, and Chow reveals that it actually hit him in the shoulder. After the mission ends, the Secretary of Security arrives and praises Chow's actions. Lydia claims that Chow had been acting under DCU orders. Peter tries to remind them that DCU was ordered not to interfere, exposing his own failure. Suddenly, a surviving terrorist emerges from a nearby hatch and prepares to throw a grenade. Peter instinctively hides behind the secretary, but Lydia grabs a gun and shoots the terrorist dead, embarrassing Peter further. Impressed by Chow's bravery, Lydia offers him his job back and asks whether he wants to be a chief superintendent or chief inspector. Chow accepts the offer, happy to return. In the final scene, Chow visits Miss Ho with a rose, hoping to patch things up. But to his shock, he finds that the timid high school teacher he once scolded has grown more confident and is now dating Miss Ho. Chow pretends it doesn't bother him, but then loses his cool and chases after the teacher for stealing his girlfriend. Just watched the most chaotic school rescue in movie history. Chow Sing-Sing caught bullets, dodged marriage, and saved the day. But still lost his girl to a nerdy teacher? Justice was served, with a side of slapstick. If that ending had you laughing and cheering, hit that sub button or Chow's chasing you next.